Hello everyone, good day from wherever you're watching. You're all welcome to this beautiful platform called Becoming the Renewed Parent. My name is Choma Odikulu and I am your host for today. I refer to myself as a renewed parent, a masterpiece, and a work in progress. So you're all welcome to class today. So today we'll be discussing about dealing with bullying. How can we deal with bullying? How can we teach our children, on how they can handle bullying, and how can we as parents handle bullying? So first of all, what is bullying? You know, Bullying is the intentional and repeated aggressive behavior towards another person. You know, Bullying is often referred to as an imbalance, where there is an imbalance of power. An imbalance of power means when someone has more power or seem to have more power more than another person. For example, when a parent, yell at a child or shout at a child for not doing his or her assignment, at this point in time, the parents have there's an imbalance of power because the parents tend to have more power than the child. When we have imbalance of power, that is in such scenario bullying can occur. And bullying can take different forms. So we're going to look at the different forms of bullying. So number one, we have physical bullying. So what is the meaning of physical bullying? Physical bullying has to do with hitting, pushing, or physically harming someone. So when you hit someone, when you push someone, or when you harm someone, you are actually bullying that person. So a question we should ask ourselves as parents: do we hit our children? Do we push our children? Do we physically harm our children or anyone else? If we are doing that, we are actually bullying our children. Then the second type of bullying is verbal bullying. Verbal bullying has to do with name calling, teasing, or making hurtful comments. So when you call someone names, when you tease someone, or when you make hurtful comments, for example, some of us make some comments like, okay, you might call your child, probably if the child uses the left hand more, you might say lefty. Some parents will say, you're a lefty. Some parents will say you have big eyes. Some parents will just probably, you can use a part of a child's body or a part of someone's body to tease the person. When you do that, you are actually bullying that person in a verbal way. When you make hurtful comments to people, you are actually bullying that person. Then the third type of bullying is social or relational bullying. It has to do with excluding someone from a group, spreading rumor, or damaging the social reputation of someone. So when you spread rumor about someone, when you say something negative about someone behind the person, or when you damage the reputation of someone, you are actually bullying that person. Then the last form of bullying I have for us here is cyberbullying. It has to do with using technology, like social media, texting, or email to harass or intimidate someone. So, cyberbullying has to do with the whole, the technology, it has to do with, texting, email, social media, just using social media to hurt someone or to make someone uncomfortable, So we must understand that as parents, bullying occurs in situations where there is imbalance of power, where there's an intent to hurt someone. Bullying occurs where there is, repetition, where someone is trying to prove a point that, okay, I have more power more than you. So those are the types of bullying, and that is the meaning of bullying. So now as parents, how can we help our children deal with bullying? Because bullying is a big deal in this day and time. We must be honest with ourselves as parents. Even we as parents sometimes go through bullying. Sometimes you are bullied by another parent. You're bullied by a colleague. Even on social media space, even someone you've not seen can actually bully you. So bullying is a big deal that we need to, we need to look at it and see how can we deal with bullying. So the strategies I'm going to discuss with us here applies to us as parents. So how we can deal with bullying, as parents when we encounter bullying or when we are bullied, and how we can help our children deal with bullying. Number one is open communication. So we must encourage open dialogue in our homes. We must make our children know that it's okay to talk to us. Our children should feel comfortable and confident to speak to us as parents when they encounter or when they are undergoing bullying. We should create a safe environment where our children can share information, where they can share their experiences, where they can share their feelings without being judged. So how is our home environment? That is the question we need to ask ourselves as parents. Can our children come up to us and say, "Oh, Dad, Mom, this is the way I feel. This is the way someone talked to me today and I feel uncomfortable about it." How is the space in our home? We need to take a good look at that, because when the environment is safe for our children, it will be very easy for them to express the way they feel. We must also teach our children to be able to express their feelings. We should teach our children to articulate the emotions they feel per time. And obviously, how can we teach emotions to our children if we as parents don't even know the emotions we feel per time? So first of all, we need to understand the emotions we feel per time and then teach our children. We should teach our children to say things like, "I feel upset. I feel angry because this person talked to me this way. I feel uncomfortable with the way this person reacted. I feel sad with the way this person acted towards me. I feel unhappy with what this person is doing." We should teach our children this. We should put these things in their mouth. We should make it comfortable. Like, it should be something that should be easy for our children to say. So we should teach our children to be able to express the emotions they feel per time. Then the second way we can help our children deal with bullying is to teach assertiveness, not aggression. Yes. How can we do this? As parents, we should teach our children to stand tall. Even we as parents should stand tall. How often do you as a parent even stand tall? When you're talking to your colleague, when you're talking to your boss, when you're talking to someone else, do you even stand tall as a parent? So that is one way we can deal with bullying. So we must learn and also teach our children to stand tall and to speak confidently. We should teach our children to make eye contact when they speak. You see a lot of children, even a lot of us, some of us as parents, when we are talking to someone, you're having a conversation with someone and your eyes are down, you're not making eye contact. It doesn't depict confidence. So we must teach these skills to our children. We must teach our children to be able to speak in a calm voice and a confident voice. We should teach them to say things like, "Stop, I feel uncomfortable about it." Teach them to say things like, "I don't like the way you're talking to me." We should teach them to also walk away when it becomes so difficult, or when the environment is so tense. We should teach our children to walk away, and even we as parents should learn to walk away. Then we should also teach our children, about body language. We should demonstrate non-verbal cues. How does someone stand that will depict that this person is actually is trying to bully me? How is the eye contact of this person? How is the posture of this person? We must teach our children all these things so that they can detect bullying, right from the early stage and not when things have gone really bad. Then the third way is role playing and scenario practice. As parents, it's our duty to role play to our children. Role play different scenarios that a bully would want to take. You could role play teasing your child and seeing how your child will react. Because the truth is that we will not always be with our children everywhere. We won't be with them in school. We will be with them at home, but not out there. And we're actually raising them to be adults, to go out there and make or contribute to the society. So we should teach them these things that they are likely to experience when they go out there. So we should role play, make scenarios, use real life situations. Even we as parents can give them stories and scenarios of how we were bullied and what we did. We can also explain to them the mistakes we made, the things we did not do right, and how our children can actually make better decisions when they encounter a bully. We must also teach them the concept of bystander intervention. We should teach our children the importance of seeking help from an adult, a trusted adult. Probably they are walking on the way, seeking help. And we must also teach our children to always stand up against bullying. We should teach our children that when they see someone bullying another person, it is totally unacceptable. They need to speak to a higher authority. They could speak to their teacher. They could speak to someone that is going to address that situation, and not for our children to just see bullying happening and walking away. No. Then the fourth way we can deal with bullying or teach our children to deal with bullying is build social and emotional skills. One way of building social and emotional skill is to develop empathy. Yes, we must teach our children to, put themselves in the shoes of other people. Even we as parents must sometimes learn to put ourselves in the shoes of other people. We should teach our children to always learn to respond to people with compassion. We should teach our children to be considerate of their peers. We should teach them to be considerate of other people, and definitely our children model this from us. They definitely will model empathy from us, the parents. So the question is, as a parent, are you actually modeling empathy? We must also teach our children to build friendship. We must encourage our children to have strong friendship. Some of us parents, we discourage our children from having friends, probably because of the way we grew up, maybe because of our traumas, or probably because of the experiences we had with some friends. But as a parent, you're doing a disservice to your child when you discourage your child from making friends, because they need that friendship. So please encourage your children to have strong friendship. They should make friends that have the same value with them, that their values align, because bullies are less likely to target children who have a solid group of friends. So teach your child to make friends. Teach your child to work in a group, because bullies are usually scared of the group. They usually want to attack or want to bully just one person. We must encourage social activity that helps to build self-confidence and strong bonds with peers. So encourage social activities. Encourage communication, encourage sharing, encourage negotiation, encourage activities that build bonds that your child will use to build bond with their peers. Then the fifth way is to teach the walk away strategy. Oh, this is a beautiful strategy. The strategy of walking away. Now we must teach our children to ignore and walk away. We must teach our children that sometimes the best response is just to walk away and avoid engaging with a bully. When the situation or the environment is not safe for our children, when it's becoming tense, when our children find themselves in a space that they can't handle themselves, even when we find ourselves in a space that we can't handle ourselves, we must always remember the strategy of walking away. Because many bullies seek reaction, so not giving them attention, they want to often stop the behavior. So when you walk away, when you don't give the bully attention, the bully will always, they might just want to stop. But when you give them the attention, they will proceed with whatever they want to do. So we must learn as parents to teach our children the strategy of walking away. Then the sixth way is to know when to seek help. As parents, we should teach our children when they should seek help. Even we as parents should also seek help. Most times as parents we feel that, oh, I know it all, I can't ask for help. But the truth is that we must learn to seek for help. We must teach our children to tell a trusted adult. We must teach our children they can speak to their teacher, they can speak to a counselor, they can speak to a trusted adult when bullying persists. We must teach our children that it's okay to keep talking and talking and talking until someone responds. I always tell my children or my daughter that keep speaking until someone hears. Keep crying and calling for help until someone hears. When our children or someone is going through bullying, we must teach our children to always talk, to always speak, and not to keep it to themselves. They must speak to a trusted adult. They should speak to someone they feel comfortable to speak to. We must make sure that our children ask for help, because asking for help is not a sign of weakness, but it's a smart way to protect themselves. We must teach our children that asking for help is not a sign of weakness. And even we as parents must come to the point where we don't see asking for help as weakness, where we don't see asking for help as as something that is bad or something I'm not supposed to do. Asking for help is actually strength, not weakness, and it's a way of protecting ourselves. So we must implement this, we must model this, and we must teach this to our children. Then the other way is to encourage persistence. We must let our children know that when bullying continues, they should keep speaking until the issue is resolved. They should not stop talking. If they talk to teacher A and teacher A doesn't respond, they should move over to teacher B. If they talk to teacher B and teacher B doesn't respond, they should move on to teacher C. They should keep talking and reporting till the issue is resolved. And as parents, we need to model and teach these skills to our children, and everything begins from the home. How is our home environment? Do we encourage our children to even speak to us? Do we encourage our children to even express themselves to us? The truth is that parenting actually begins with us. As my coach will always say, parenting is all about us. So we as parents must even create the right environment, the right scenarios for our children to be able to express themselves to us, for our children to be able to talk to us, for our children to come up and say, no, mom, no, dad, I disagree with this thing because of this reason. So we must teach our children to keep asking for help until that bullying is resolved. Then the other way is that as parents, we must monitor the online activities of our children. Yes, it's our duty to monitor the online activity of our children. Teach your children safe online habits. Cyberbullying is increasing by the day. We must teach our children not to respond to hurtful messages online and to report any bullying to their parents, to their teacher, to an administrator, to a trusted adult. The truth is that parenting is all about us. We can see as parents, everything is pointing back at us. So as parents, we must learn or teach our children and monitor the online activities of our children. We must teach our children that you don't have to respond to every message, because the truth is that it's not everybody that will like our children. Even we as parents, it's not everyone that likes us. Some people will not just like you. So we must teach our children that when people make hurtful comments, they should not even engage. They should not even respond. Because in the process of responding, negative emotion starts to build up. The child starts to feel bad. The child wants to, keep quiet, want to be on their own. No. We must teach our children that it is okay not to respond to hurtful messages, and whenever they encounter or someone is bullying them online, they should speak to a trusted adult. And it's our duty as parents to have privacy settings. If your children is online, do you monitor the online activity of your child, or do you just give your child a phone and exposes the child to the whole world? So as parents, we must we must be very careful with what the things we expose our children to, because the truth is that sometimes our children are not even ready for the level of exposure they have online. Because when they are online, it's just like they are exposed to the whole world. The whole world is exposed to them. Are they even ready for that aspect of life? Because even we as parents, some of us even struggle with the internet. Some of us even struggle with so many things, social media. Some of us struggle with managing our time. Some of us even struggle when someone makes a hurtful, or when someone responds to your posts on social media and you feel that, oh God, this person did not respond in a positive way. Some of us even feel bad as parents. Then talk more of what more of our children that probably that are not even ready for that aspect of their life. So we must be very intentional. We must be very careful with the way we expose our children out there online. Even if your child is online, you must watch what your child is doing online. Then the other way is to teach our children the use of humor. In some cases, we must teach our children to make light-hearted comments that can diffuse a bullying situation. As parents, there are some comments you make that will just diffuse someone. Like when the person wants to tell you something negative, your response will make the person to even, everything will just stop and the person might just take a step back. For example, if a bully makes a teasing comment to your child, responding with things like, yes, I've heard this before. For example, a bully walks up to your child. We must teach our children this, obviously. A bully walks up to your child and say, oh God, I don't even like the way you look. I don't like your leg. I don't like any part of your body. We must teach our children to respond with humor. Like, oh yes, oh yeah, I've heard that before. Oh yeah, I know, I like my body like this. Oh yes, I like my hand like this. Oh yeah, I look so good. I look beautiful. I'm perfectly made by my creator. So we must teach our children to respond with humor, because it diffuses the whole bullying situation. Then the other way is to teach our children to help them build self-esteem. How can we help our children build self-esteem? We should encourage positive self-image. We should help our children build a strong sense of self-worth. How can we do this as parents? Through praise. So as a parent, you must praise your child. Do you praise your child for the little efforts they make every day? Or are you focused on the end result? Are you focused on the results such that you don't even see the process? You don't see the effort your child has made. For example, your child is trying to wash their dish after eating. Are you focused on the dish being clean to your standard? Or are you focused on the process that, okay, my child actually tidied up the table, she took the dish to wash, she actually tried to wash it, even though it's not properly clean, but I appreciate the process. I appreciate the effort because we are getting somewhere. So do you even praise your child for those little efforts they make on a daily basis? Or are you the type of parent that is ready to condemn? You're coming back from work, the first thing you're seeing in the house is everything that is disorganized. Sometimes we are not even focused on the little things that our children are doing to please us. So we as parents, we must understand that one of the ways to build the self-esteem of our children is through praise. Encourage them, praise their process, praise their efforts, praise their progress, praise what they do to their contributions in the home. We must support our children. How supportive are we? Or are we the type of parent that, okay, your child comes to you and say, mommy, or daddy, please, can you help me with this? I'm trying to fix this. I'm trying to, maybe, for example, tidy my bed. I can't do it. Can you just come and help me? Or do we say, no, you can do it. Go and do it. You must do it. Your mates are doing it. No. We must support our children, because when we do that, we are actually investing in the self-esteem bank of our children. And positive reinforcement. Reinforce things positively. Let's not be negative as parents. Sometimes I know we might just be tempted to want to use some, but we should be conscious that these things build the self-esteem of our children. So reinforce positively. Your child has done something beautiful. Appreciate the effort. Praise the effort. Tell your child, well done, well done. Next time we can do this better, or we can do it this way. But don't have the first instinct of criticizing. No. First of all, praise the effort. Then you teach your child ways they can do it better. Then we must focus on the strength of our children, and we must encourage our children to focus on their own strength, because when they focus on their own strength, it makes them to be more resilient in the face of bullying. Most of us as parents, we have children with different strengths, different temperament, different personality. So encourage your child. Encourage your children to work and to build on their strength. Don't compare the strength of child A to the strength of child B. Don't be that parent that said, yes, so this my first daughter is like this. I don't even know why my second daughter is like this. No, because every child have got their strength, they've got their personality, they've got everything specially made by God, even when they came to this world. So our duty as parents is to build the strength of our children. Encourage them to build on that strength. You have a child, what are the things you're observing about your children? Are you observing your child, or are you just focused on, are you actually looking at this child to know, them to even see, to even study? Are you even understudying your children to even say, okay, let me even know my child. Let me even know the strength of this my child. So it's our duty as parents to understudy our children to the point that we know their strengths. We help them to build on their strength, and we teach them to also, build on their strength themselves. Then the other way, we can help our children deal with bullying is to teach conflict resolution. How can we teach conflict resolution? Number one, we must teach and build problem-solving skills in our children. We must help our children to develop problem-solving skills by discussing how they can handle conflict without escalating the situation. We must teach them to assess whether a situation requires them walking away, getting help, standing by. We must teach conflict resolution. But the truth is that, or the funny thing is that, most of us as parents don't even know how to resolve our conflicts. Some of us as parents might have conflict and we are throwing adult tantrum. We have high emotions, everybody is yelling, everybody is shouting, then how do we even want to teach our children how to resolve conflict when they encounter such conflict out there? So we must understand that as parents, it's our duty to teach our children how to solve their problems by modeling good problem solving skills, by modeling the right conflict resolution skills. We must also teach our children to stay calm. We should teach techniques for staying calm, such as deep breathing. We should teach our children to count 1 to 10 or 1 to 20. We must help our children to manage stress. So, all these things are still pointing back at us. Are we modeling these things? Because our children will do more of what they see us do than more of what we say. So it's our duty to encourage our children to stay calm in situations. Breathing, taking deep breath. They can take deep breaths wherever they are in any situation. Counting 1 to 10, counting 1 to 20, singing, going out to take a fresh air, walking away. Let's teach our children these strategies on how they can be calm. Then the other way we can help deal with bullying is set boundaries for physical safety. We should, as parents, teach our children to avoid dangerous situations. We must teach our children to avoid situations where bullying is more likely to happen. For example, unsupervised areas. We must teach our children that when you are alone, there are some areas you shouldn't go to, areas that are unsupervised, areas that are not monitored by adults or by your school or by your teachers. You must avoid those areas. We must also teach our children the concept of personal space. We must reinforce the importance of personal space and how to respond. We should teach our children how to respond if someone is physically threatening them. Teach them to step back, to walk away, or get help immediately in such situations. For example, we should role play these things. If someone is standing, you can teach your child. If, for example, someone is standing in front of you in a threatening manner, the person is looking at you, what do you do in that situation? Someone is in front of you, someone wants to bully you, someone wants to hit you, someone wants to do something that will hurt you. What do you need to do? We should role model these things. We should teach our children they can walk away, they can step back, they can shout for help, they can call for help. They should not keep quiet, but we must teach our children what to do if they encounter these situations. Then the last way is for us as parents. This is for us parents. We must get involved in our children's education, in their studies, and in their school. How can we do that? As parents, we must work with the school. We must communicate regularly with our children's teacher and our children's school administrator to ensure they are aware of any bullying concerns we have. So as parents, it's our duty to get involved in the school of our children. I usually say that wherever my child is going to school, I'm also schooling there. Because I and my husband, we try as much as we can, to get involved, to find out what is happening in this school. Can you tell me what you did today in school? What happened? As parents, we must get involved. Don't be asking general questions. Don't be asking your child after school, how was school? Definitely your child will tell you school was fine. Or some children will even tell you good or okay. We should be specific as parents. Ask specific questions. Ask questions like, who came to class today? What did you do today in school? Did you play today? Who did you play with? What activities did you do? What emotions did you feel today? Did anyone talk to you in a hurtful way? Did you react in an angry way to someone? We should be specific. Ask specific questions. The more we ask specific questions, the more we bring out these things from our children. It's our duty as parents, to collaborate with our children's school, to work with our children's school, to partner with them, to even introduce the school of our children to courses, to coaches where they can also learn about how to prevent bullying in their school. So as parents, we're expected to get involved 100%. Don't be the parent that is out there. You've paid school fees and you say, okay, I've done my work. No, you've paid school fees, but you need to be in there. You need to be involved. You need to know what is happening there. You need to work with the school. We need to partner with the school, because our school, the school our children go to, they are actually our parenting partners. Whoever teaches your child is a parenting partner. So you need to work with that person and don't be distant from that person. So finally, as parents, we must understand that bullying has become a thing of concern in our day and time. So we as parents must try and make every effort to avoid bullying in our homes. We should not model bullying in any way, and we must teach our children how to respond when they are being bullied or when someone wants to bully them. We must learn to lead by example, because parenting is all about modeling. Parenting is all about leading. We must learn to handle our conflicts in a calm way, in a respectful way, and in an assertive way. We must model the right behaviors to our children, and we must reinforce kindness. We must encourage our children to be kind. We must encourage our children to be kind to other people they encounter on the road. They should be kind to their schoolmates. They should be kind to people, because when a child is kind, or when we as parents are kind, I don't think there will be any part of us that we want to bully someone else. We must teach and model empathy. We must explain to our children it is important to treat people with respect. And we as parents must treat people with respect. How do you treat your child? Do you treat your child in a respectful way? Or do you just say, this is just a small child, he doesn't know anything, how can I even talk with my child? No. You know, respect is reciprocal, as we usually say. So do you even treat your child in a respectful way? The people working in your home, the people you live with, do you treat them in a respectful way? Do you treat your colleagues in a respectful way? Your children's teachers, do you treat them in a respectful way? The people you encounter on the road, do you treat them in a respectful way? Because our children are watching, they are modeling, they are picking, they are soaking everything like sponge, everything we are doing. We must teach our children to always stand up for themselves, to stand up against bullying. Wherever they see bullying, wherever they see someone being bullied, wherever they see a situation that will warrant or lead to bullying, we must teach our children, to stand up against it. We must teach our children to be fair. And we must teach our children, finally, to always consider their safety and to always consider the safety of others. I'm very sure as parents that when we implement what we've discussed today, we will go a long way to help our children deal with bullying. And we'll also go a long way to help us deal with bullying, because even we as parents sometimes get bullied. So I believe you've got value from this class. I believe it has been worth your time. I appreciate your time. I do not take your time for granted. Thank you for listening to me today. Let's do this together. Let's make our world a better place and a better space for us and for our children. If you have any contribution, any comments, please feel free to drop it down in our comments, in the comment section. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Becoming the Renewed Parent. Have you pressed the subscription button? Just subscribe, put on your notification button on, and whenever we post any video, you'll get to see it. And please join our Facebook group, Becoming the Renewed Parent. Thank you very much for listening to me today. Remember to be renewed in your mind. Remember to be a good model. Remember to show your children, or our children, because I'm parenting, of course. Remember, we should show our children the right way to go. Thank you very much. Do have a great day, and see you in our next video and in our next class. See you later. Bye.